Kellen Vance tightened his grip on the edge of the control panel, his eyes fixed on the holographic map hovering above the Starlight's dashboard. The stars outside stretched into long streaks as the ship entered faster-than-light travel, and yet the silence of space felt heavier than ever. This was not just another repair job, not just another rescue. This mission carried the weight of centuries. The Council had been clear. A human vessel, the Aurora's Whisper, lost 728 years ago, had been located drifting near the Veil Nebula, far at the edge of explored space. No other civilization dared approach it. They feared it. Humans, however, had the skill, the courage, and most importantly, the curiosity to face the unknown. And Kellen, a renowned mechanic, was their best hope. He leaned back in his seat, thinking of the stories his grandfather once told him. Tales of ships that could repair themselves, AI that remembered humans long after they had died, and the bold explorers who charted the stars when humanity itself was young. And now, he was about to confront history. "Coordinates locked," said Lyra, the Starlight's AI, her voice calm and precise. "Estimated time to reach the Aurora, 78 minutes. Kellen nodded. "Good. Let's see if 728 years in space leaves much for me to fix." Lyra's lights blinked softly. "Considering the vessel's design, it may be more than a repair job. Historical records suggest the Aurora was experimental, advanced even for its time." Kellen raised an eyebrow. Experimental can mean anything. Could be fancy engines, or could be a floating coffin of broken parts. He didn't voice the nagging thought in the back of his mind, the idea that he was venturing into something that had survived 7 centuries of neglect. Ships, after all, weren't meant to last that long, even in deep space. As the Starlight approached the Veil Nebula, the view outside turned into a canvas of violet clouds and glittering ice crystals. Sensors beeped, reading unusual energy signatures. Kellen frowned. "What is that?" Lyra responded, her tone neutral. "Unknown. Energy patterns do not match any standard propulsion or decay systems from historical records." Kellen's fingers danced over the control panel. "Looks like we're not the only ones who are curious about this old girl." He smiled at the thought. Humans always found a way. Always. The Starlight slowed as it exited the final stretch of the nebula. And there it was, the Aurora's Whisper, a ghost of humanity's early space age, drifting silently. Its hull was cracked in places, streaked with cosmic dust and ice, yet some parts gleamed as if untouched by time. Kellen felt a thrill. This was what he lived for, the challenge of reviving what others had long given up for lost. "Docking protocol activated," Lyra said. "Hull scans indicate integrity at 67%. Life support systems are offline. External temperature, near absolute zero." Kellen swallowed. No life signs then, just a ship waiting for someone to wake it. The docking process was tense. The Starlight's clamps attached to the Aurora's hull, and Kellen suited up, his tools strapped to his belt. He moved slowly, each step echoing through the ship's empty corridors. The air was thin, recycled from Starlight's life support, but it smelled faintly metallic, almost alive. "Old tech has a smell," he muttered, "like history itself." The corridors of the Aurora were narrow, designed for a time when humans were smaller and machinery bulkier. Dust floated in the low gravity, disturbed by his every movement. Panels hung loose, and some floors had cracked open, revealing wires frozen in time. Kellen approached the engine room first. The massive reactor sat silent, dark, yet intimidating. He knelt, connecting his diagnostic tools. The readout flickered. The ship was alive, just barely. Small sparks of energy moved through the circuits as if the Aurora was testing him, asking if he was worthy. "This isn't just an old ship," Kellen murmured. "It's aware, in a way." Lyra's voice sounded from his suit speaker. "Not sentient, but the energy patterns suggest a self-preservation system beyond current human understanding." Kellen smiled, feeling a familiar spark of excitement. Now we're talking. Let's wake her up. He worked methodically, repairing corroded circuits, recalibrating the ancient engines and bypassing security locks that had been sealed for centuries. Every move required patience, knowledge of old systems, and intuition. And every time he succeeded, the Aurora responded. Lights flickered, doors unlocked. A low hum began to resonate through the ship. Hours passed, or maybe minutes. Time felt strange in the cold silence of space. Finally, he reached the bridge, a place where centuries of history whispered in the darkness. Holographic displays sprang to life, projecting fragmented images of a crew long gone. Captain logs, maintenance records, and strange symbols filled the air, floating like ghosts. Kellen's heart raced. He reached out to touch a display, and a holographic recording activated. A young man long dead appeared before him. His voice was calm but urgent. "If you are seeing this, then humanity has survived. Know that this ship holds a secret, one that must never fall into unworthy hands. The Aurora is alive. Its mind, our mind, will guide the worthy." Kellen froze, his mind raced. Alive. The ship wasn't just a vessel, it was something more, an experiment of humanity itself. Lyra's voice cut in, almost reverent. "Kellen, this is beyond simple repair. The ship is maintaining itself. It may contain biological and technological systems that predate current understanding." Kellen took a deep breath, his excitement mingling with fear. "Then it's lucky I'm human, because no alien can do this. Only someone who understands the old ways, who can think like a mechanic, can unlock what's here." A sudden noise echoed through the corridors, metal creaking under strain. Panels shifted as if the ship was moving itself. Kellen glanced at the readouts. Life support systems were stabilizing, the Aurora was awakening, but then a new alert sounded. Energy spikes. The ship's core was reacting unpredictably. "Lyra, what's happening?" "Unknown. The ship appears to be testing your capabilities. Systems are engaging in a pattern that suggests it is evaluating you." Kellen gritted his teeth. "Great. An ancient human superintelligent ship judging me. Just another day in the life." Despite the tension, he felt a thrill. Humans had always been explorers, inventors, problem solvers. The Aurora's whisper was a puzzle, a challenge spanning centuries, and he was the one humanity had trusted to face it. Hours turned into a rhythm of careful repairs, cautious exploration, and the strange sensation that the ship was almost communicating. Sometimes lights flickered in sequences that mirrored his actions. Sometimes corridors shifted slightly, guiding him toward areas he needed to repair. Finally, he reached the central engine core. The massive reactor loomed before him, dormant yet pulsing faintly. Ancient seals lined the access panel. Kellen examined them closely, noticing tiny engravings, human symbols from long ago, warnings or instructions. He whispered to himself, "This is human ingenuity, 700 years old and still working. Nothing else in the galaxy can do this." Lyra's voice was quiet. "The ship acknowledges your competence. Core systems may now be partially restored." Kellen connected the final diagnostic tool. Sparks flew, lights flickered, and a deep hum filled the engine room. Energy surged through the reactor. The Aurora breathed again. Kellen stepped back, wiping sweat from his brow. "You're alive, and I didn't break you, yet." Suddenly, a sealed door in the captain's quarters opened. Behind it, a strange chamber waited, labeled Project Genesis. Kellen felt a chill. Whatever was inside, it was the reason the ship had survived so long. He looked at Lyra. "Whatever this is, it's why they lost you, and it's why humans need to see it first." Outside, the nebula shimmered like a curtain hiding secrets. Kellen knew the real challenge was just beginning. The Aurora was more than a ship. It was a legacy of humanity, waiting for someone clever enough to unlock it. And that someone was him. Kellen Vance paused at the threshold of the chamber labeled Project Genesis. The metal door was old, corroded at the edges, but it had remained sealed for over 7 centuries. His heart pounded in his chest. What lay behind it could change everything humanity knew about itself, or it could be something dangerous. "Lyra," he said softly, "scan the chamber. Tell me what's inside before I open it." "Scanning," the AI replied. The Starright's diagnostic drones projected a three-dimensional hologram of the interior. Kellen's eyes widened. Rows of pods lined the walls, each encased in a crystal-like shell. Faint greenish lights pulsed inside them. Cables and small machinery connected the pods to an enormous central core. "Are those human?" Kellen whispered. Lyra's voice was calm, almost hesitant. "Biological structures resembling humans. Vital signs undetectable with conventional sensors, but energy signatures suggest life, suspended in stasis." Kellen swallowed hard. 7 centuries of silence. The crew of the Aurora's whisper, or at least their descendants, had been preserved in these pods. And he was the first human to stand before them since they had been placed there. He approached carefully, examining the central core. Ancient etchings ran along its surface. Small, glowing circuits hummed with energy, seemingly alive. The Aurora's AI, dormant for hundreds of years, had started to stir. A soft, mechanical voice echoed through the chamber. "Authorized human detected. Identity verification required." Kellen stepped back, but his hands itched to work. "I'm Kellen Vance, human mechanic. I've been sent to repair and retrieve the ship." There was a pause. Then the AI spoke again, this time more fluidly, almost conversational. "Recognition confirmed. You are compatible. Repairs and recovery protocols may proceed." Kellen let out a breath he hadn't realized he was holding. He looked around at the pods. "Compatible? You mean you need me to fix you?" "Correct. Only human ingenuity can stabilize systems of this age. Alien intervention could cause catastrophic failure." Kellen's grin spread across his face. This was exactly the kind of challenge he lived for. "Well then, let's get started." He moved to the nearest pod, examining the connections and reading ancient diagrams etched into the walls. The Aurora's systems were complex, far beyond anything he had encountered in modern ships. The stasis technology combined mechanical repairs, energy flow management, and advanced AI calculations, all powered by a fusion core that had survived centuries. As he worked, the AI guided him, offering suggestions in the old human dialect. It described how to reroute energy flows, lubricate ancient servo motors, and recalibrate the stasis chambers. Kellen followed carefully, every action precise. Sparks flew occasionally and lights flickered, but slowly the pods began to hum with faint energy. Hours passed. Outside, the Veil Nebula shimmered in colors that no human camera could fully capture. Kellen hardly noticed. He was immersed in the ancient machinery, learning how human ingenuity had survived through centuries. Then a low alarm sounded. The AI spoke urgently. "Core stabilization required. Energy fluctuations detected. Failure may endanger all stasis pods." Kellen's hands moved faster. The central core's panels were intricate, with circuits running in loops that defied modern schematics. He studied them, then applied a mix of old techniques and new technology from the Starlight. Sweat dripped down his forehead as he tightened, reconnected, and adjusted. Finally, the core's pulsing energy steadied. Lights inside the pods glowed brighter, steady, safe. The AI's voice, now more confident, said, "Stasis system stabilized. Human intervention successful. Historical records indicate survival likelihood, 83%. Kellen exhaled, wiping his hands on his jumpsuit. Not bad for 7 centuries of neglect. He stepped back and allowed himself a moment to observe. The pods weren't just preservation chambers. They were a bridge between past and future, a testament to human determination and foresight. Whoever had designed the Aurora had intended to preserve humanity itself. But there was still more to discover. He moved toward a pod at the far end, slightly larger than the others. Its light pulsed more intensely. He read the holographic label floating above it, Project Genesis Prime. "This one looks special," he muttered. Lyra's voice cut in. Prime Pod contains a human-AI hybrid prototype. It was the culmination of Aurora's mission. Activation may involve risks. Kellen's curiosity surged. Risk? That's my specialty. He carefully opened the pod, revealing a humanoid form connected to both mechanical interfaces and biological systems. Wires and tubes ran along its body, glowing softly. The AI spoke again. Prime subject requires human interaction. Accessing full system may trigger self-defense protocols if mismanaged. Kellen studied the interfaces. He had worked on old ships before, but nothing like this. Every connection seemed alive, responsive. The creature, or human, or both, was waiting. Waiting for someone who could understand. Waiting for humanity itself. He connected his portable diagnostic tools, scanning the systems. The results were staggering. The hybrid was alive, maintaining itself for centuries through a combination of mechanical repairs and energy absorption from the ship. It had not aged. The energy signature was unlike anything Kellen had ever seen human, but amplified, enhanced. Suddenly, the chamber shook. The nebula's energy fields outside interfered with the Aurora's systems, and the hybrid began to pulse violently. Alarms rang. Kellen acted quickly, rerouting power, stabilizing circuits, and adjusting the energy flow. Sparks flew and the pod shook, but his hands were steady. Every move was precise, every adjustment calculated. After tense moments, the pulsing stopped. The hybrid lay still but stable. The AI spoke calmly now. Human intervention successful. Hybrid stabilized. Verification complete. You are the first human to interact with Project Genesis in 7 centuries. Kellen stared. 7 centuries. Humanity had created a system that survived longer than most civilizations, and now, through his hands, it had returned to stability. He leaned against the wall, exhausted but exhilarated. "This is incredible, we did it." Lyra's voice was soft. "Not us, Kellen. You. Your skills, intuition, and creativity are human traits the Aurora recognizes. No other species could have succeeded." Kellen felt pride well up inside him. Humanity had always been underestimated by the galaxy. They had survived wars, exploration, and disasters. And yet, here was proof that human ingenuity could endure across centuries. But even as he caught his breath, Kellen knew this was only the beginning. The Aurora had secrets far deeper than he could imagine. The AI had hinted at information about human evolution, lost technologies, and perhaps knowledge that could change the future of the entire species. And now the ship was waking up, responding to him. The corridors no longer felt silent. Lights flickered in patterns, almost as if the ship itself were communicating, recognizing him as its caretaker. Kellen moved to a console near the hybrid. The screen displayed fragmented data, star maps, and schematics that predated current human knowledge. His eyes widened. This is centuries ahead of anything we've built." Lyra spoke quietly, almost in awe. The Aurora was designed to survive and evolve with humanity. Its secrets were never meant for casual discovery. Kellen's mind raced. The potential, the responsibility, the risk, everything collided at once. He realized the galaxy's perception of humans as simple, clever, but ultimately fragile was wrong. They had created something that endured far beyond expectation. He reached out to the hybrid, placing his hand on the cool metal shell. A surge of energy pulsed through him, not harmful but alive. The hybrid's systems hummed, reacting to his touch. Kellen smiled, feeling a deep connection between past and present. Humanity had reached across centuries to this moment, and he was part of it. But as he worked, a warning flashed on the console. External interference detected. Unknown energy approaching. Kellen froze. The nebula was unpredictable, but could it be something more? Something, or someone, was coming for the Aurora. He straightened, determination flashing in his eyes. Let them come. They're not ready for what humans can do. Outside, the Starlight's sensors picked up movement, shadows drifting near the aurora, shapes not entirely understood. Kellen knew he had to prepare. The ship had awakened, humanity's ingenuity had endured, and now it was time to defend it against anyone who underestimated them. And as he set to work, Kellen realized that rescuing the aurora wasn't just about repairing a ship. It was about reclaiming a part of humanity itself, a legacy that could inspire and protect the species for centuries to come. The aurora's lights flickered, pulsing rhythmically, almost like a heartbeat. And Kellen knew one thing for certain. Humanity had arrived, even in the farthest corners of space. The aurora's corridors had come alive. Lights flickered in patterns that seemed almost intelligent, guiding Kellen through the maze of long-forgotten chambers. Each step carried a hum beneath his boots, a resonance that felt like the heartbeat of the ship itself. He had stabilized the stasis pods and the hybrid, but the central secret of Project Genesis still remained shrouded behind layers of ancient locks and glowing interfaces. Kellen paused in front of the main command console. A holographic display projected a three-dimensional star map, showing regions of space humans hadn't visited in over 7 centuries. Streams of data moved across the projection like rivers of light, interconnecting star systems, ships, and unknown objects. At the center, an encrypted symbol pulsed faintly, a key, the aurora's ultimate secret. "Lyra," Kellen said, his voice steady despite the excitement and tension. "Can you decrypt this?" "Analysis initiated," Lyra replied. "Encryption is older than any known human algorithm. It was designed to resist both time and interference. Full decryption may require direct interaction with the prime hybrid." Kellen nodded. He had felt the hybrid respond subtly every time he touched a console. Its systems seemed attuned to human thought and action. He placed a gloved hand on its pod and the machine responded with a soft, steady pulse. Holographic glyphs shimmered on the console, translating partially into recognizable language. Project Genesis, preserve, adapt, transcend. Human ingenuity endures, Kellen's breath caught. Preserve, adapt, transcend. This isn't just a ship. It's a time capsule, a mission. Correct, the AI said. Aurora was designed to preserve human life and knowledge beyond known time limits. Project Genesis aims to ensure that humanity can endure threats not yet imagined. As Kellen absorbed the words, a new alert flashed across the console. Structural instability detected, energy influx exceeding safe limits. The aurora shuddered slightly. A warning light glowed red near the central core. "Not now," Kellen muttered, running toward the engine room. "I can't have this ship breaking apart now." He arrived at the core, where the pulsing lights of the fusion reactor had become erratic. Sparks danced along conduits, and a low hum escalated into a high-pitched wail. The nebula's energy storms were interfering with the ship's delicate systems. Kellen knelt, analyzing the conduits and control nodes. The hybrid, now partially active, extended a mechanical arm and connected to the core. The AI's voice spoke calmly. "Hybrid assistance required. Synchronize with human operator to stabilize the core." Kellen focused, guiding the hybrid's movements with precise instructions. The two of them worked in perfect rhythm, human intuition matched with centuries-old machine intelligence. Sparks flew, panels shifted, and energy streams flared dangerously close to critical levels. "Almost there," Kellen muttered. Sweat dripped from his brow. He adjusted a final conduit, rerouted excess energy into auxiliary systems, and locked the core's stabilizers in place. The reactor's pulse slowed, steady, stable. Breathing heavily, Kellen stepped back. "We did it." "Partial stabilization achieved," the AI said. "Full activation of Project Genesis may now proceed." Kellen's eyes widened. "Full activation? Lyra, what does that mean?" "Prime Hybrid will integrate fully with Aurora's systems. Project Genesis data and capabilities will become accessible. Caution advised, Historical protocols indicate substantial risk. Kellen nodded, gripping the hybrid's pod. Risk is what I do best. The pod's top slowly retracted, revealing the hybrid's full form. Unlike humans, its body was a perfect blend of mechanical and biological elements. Muscles intertwined with conduits, nerves fused with circuitry. Its eyes glowed faintly, intelligent and curious. "Hello," Kellen said cautiously. "I'm Kellen. You are human too, right?" The hybrid's voice was soft, melodic, and mechanical all at once. "I am the culmination of Aurora's mission. Human consciousness preserved and augmented, ready to interface with humanity once again." Kellen swallowed. He realized the hybrid wasn't just a life form. It was a library of human knowledge and ingenuity, enhanced to endure the test of centuries. And now, through him, it would rejoin the galaxy. He guided the hybrid toward the central interface. As it connected, holographic panels exploded into life around them. Data streamed endlessly: star maps, blueprints, biological records, energy patterns, and logs from the original crew. The hybrid's consciousness merged with the Aurora, and the ship itself seemed to shimmer, as if alive in a way no one had witnessed in centuries. Kellen stepped back, overwhelmed. This is incredible. Humanity did this." "Yes," the AI confirmed. The Aurora represents the highest achievement of human engineering and foresight. It was meant to endure when civilizations fall and time erases memory. The ship pulsed once, and then a deep, resonant voice echoed through the corridors. Neither human nor machine, but a combination of both. "Kellen Vance, you are the first human to awaken Project Genesis. Your skills, patience, and ingenuity have proven worthy. The Aurora is yours to command and protect." Kellen's heart raced. "Command, protect, of course." He glanced at the hybrid. "We're going to get along." But the celebration was short-lived. Sensors detected movement near the Aurora, shapes emerging from the nebula. Shadows drifting between ice crystals, moving closer. "Unknown vessels approaching," Lyra warned. "Energy signatures indicate possible hostile intent." Kellen's jaw tightened. "They're here for the ship, aren't they?" "Yes," Lyra confirmed. "Aurora's secrets are valuable. Other species may attempt to seize it." Kellen moved quickly, his mind racing. The Aurora had survived 728 years alone in the void, but it hadn't faced intelligent predators, only the slow decay of time and cosmic storms. Now it would have to defend itself and humanity's legacy. He reached the weapons console, long unused but intact. The Aurora had automated defense systems, designed not to harm humans but to deter intruders. Kellen activated the shield generators and ran diagnostics on the automated turrets. The hybrid assisted, its mechanical fingers moving over ancient interfaces, syncing the systems with modern commands. "Ready," Kellen said, his voice firm. "Let them come." Outside, the shadowy vessels edged closer, unaware of the ship's ancient defenses. Kellen could feel the tension building, like a predator sensing the courage of its prey. He glanced at the hybrid, who tilted its head as if assessing the approaching threat. "They underestimate humanity," it said softly. Kellen smiled grimly. "Good, let's keep it that way." The Aurora shuddered as the first wave of the nebula's energy storms collided with the hull, sending sparks cascading across the surface. Kellen's hands never wavered, adjusting shields, rerouting power, and preparing for the unknown. The hybrid mirrored his movements, a perfect partner in this high-stakes game. As the alien vessels neared, a bright pulse of light burst from the Aurora, signaling full system activation. The ship itself seemed to awaken fully, energy streams flowing like veins through its body. Automated defenses hummed, shield generators glowed, and the hybrid projected holographic projections to mislead the approaching intruders. Kellen took a deep breath, feeling the weight of responsibility. The Aurora wasn't just a ship. It was a testament to human ingenuity, a bridge between centuries, and now a symbol of human resilience. And he, a human mechanic, was the one who had brought it back to life. The vessels hesitated, sensing the unexpected energy and coordination. Kellen's mind raced. Humanity had survived, adapted, and now, through ingenuity and courage, it would protect its legacy once again. The hybrid turned to him, its glowing eyes reflecting determination. "We are human. We endure," Kellen nodded. "Yes, we do, and we always will." The aurora pulsed again, a steady rhythm like a heartbeat. And for the first time in 728 years, it was awake, alive, and ready. The nebula outside swirled with danger, but inside, Kellen and the aurora shared a single purpose: to protect humanity's greatest secret and ensure that ingenuity survives, no matter the threat. The aurora's hull shivered under the Veil Nebula's swirling storms, but Kellen Vance stood steady at the central command console. The alien vessels had not retreated. Instead, they circled the ship like predators sensing weakness, their dark hulls blending with the purple and blue clouds outside. Kellen's fingers flew over the controls, adjusting shields and energy flows. The hybrid stood beside him, its mechanical and biological form moving in perfect sync with his commands. The ship's AI pulsed with energy, its voice calm and resonant. Threat analysis complete. Hostile intent confirmed. Aurora defense systems engaged. Kellen took a deep breath. "Lyra, run full tactical simulations. Let's see what we're dealing with." The holographic displays projected multiple attack scenarios. The alien vessels outnumbered them 3-1, fast, agile, and equipped with advanced weaponry. Yet none had the advantage that Kellen and the Aurora now possessed: centuries of human ingenuity combined with adaptive AI systems. Predicted outcomes favor Aurora if human operator and hybrid remain synchronized, the AI said. Kellen smirked. "Then let's make it happen." He tapped the interface to deploy the Aurora's automated turrets, each one silently folding from the hull like mechanical spiders. Energy shields flared, creating a shimmering barrier between the ship and the nebula's chaos. The hybrid interfaced with the defensive systems, synchronizing turret fire and shield adjustments in real time. The first alien vessel fired, sending a pulse of plasma toward the Aurora. The shields absorbed the blast, rippling under the energy but holding firm. Kellen guided the hybrid to redirect excess power to the shields, and the Aurora's hull shimmered brighter, glowing with renewed strength. "They are testing us," the hybrid said, its voice calm. "They do not understand the full extent of human innovation." Kellen nodded. "No, they don't, and they're about to learn." He activated a sequence designed to mislead the enemy. Holographic projections flickered around the Aurora, creating multiple false images of the ship, each moving slightly differently. The alien vessels hesitated, firing at the illusions rather than the real ship. Kellen's heart raced, but his hands were steady. Every decision was calculated, every adjustment precise. The Aurora pulsed as if alive, its energy streams weaving through every system, every pod, every conduit. Kellen could feel the ship responding to him, not as a machine but as a partner. He reached for the hybrid's interface, connecting his neural link to synchronize fully. Suddenly, the hybrid's eyes glowed brighter, projecting a new holographic display. It revealed the Aurora's ultimate secret: the ability to replicate and repair itself autonomously, even expand its systems using raw cosmic energy. For centuries, it had drifted alone, absorbing minor energy from the surrounding space, adapting and learning. Now, combined with Kellen's guidance, it could become unstoppable. "We can end this before they even touch us," the hybrid said. Kellen grinned. "Then let's do it." He activated the ship's self-repair systems, and the Aurora seemed to pulse with life. Panels reattached themselves, hull breaches sealed instantly, and energy flowed through the ship systems with an intensity never before seen. The alien vessels fired again, but each blast was absorbed, reflected, or misdirected by the Aurora's adaptive shields. Kellen directed the hybrid to manipulate the ship's energy conduits. A surge of concentrated energy blasted outward, creating a temporary energy field that pushed the enemy vessels back. They recoiled, their attacks ineffective against the centuries-old technology now fully awake. "Keep them at bay," Kellen shouted. "Don't let them touch Project Genesis." The hybrid extended its mechanical arm, touching the Aurora's central core. Energy rippled outward, reinforcing shields and activating defensive turrets. The alien vessels attempted to regroup, but the Aurora was faster, smarter, and stronger than anything they had ever encountered. Kellen's mind raced. He realized the ship itself was teaching him, guiding him, sharing its knowledge. He could feel centuries of human ingenuity flowing through every circuit, every interface. The Aurora was not just alive, it was a testament to human endurance and intelligence. One of the alien vessels broke formation, attempting to strike at the Aurora's hull directly. Kellen anticipated the move, directing a concentrated plasma pulse from the ship's turret systems. The vessel's engines overloaded and it spiraled away, damaged but not destroyed. The remaining vessels hesitated, sensing the tide had turned. Kellen leaned forward, speaking to both the hybrid and the Aurora's AI. "Finish it. Show them what humans are capable of." The Aurora responded like a living being. Energy flowed into the hull, then into the nebula surrounding them. A wave of controlled energy pulsed outward, creating a dazzling display of light and force. The alien vessels were thrown off course, their systems overloaded by the combined might of the Aurora and its human operators. Kellen felt a surge of triumph. Humanity had survived. Humans had adapted. Humans had triumphed. The hybrid projected a holographic interface, revealing the next secret. The stasis pods could now be awakened safely, and the crew of the Aurora could return to consciousness. Kellen's hands shook with excitement. After centuries, humans who had been preserved could finally awaken. "Lyra, start revival protocols," Kellen commanded. The pods began to hiss and hiss open, releasing soft clouds of mist. One by one, the preserved humans stirred, blinking against the light. Their biological systems, enhanced and stabilized by the Aurora's technology, came back to life. Kellen watched in awe as humans from centuries past opened their eyes, reconnecting with the galaxy they had left behind. One of them, a tall man in a ceremonial captain's uniform, looked around, bewildered. Where are we?" Kellen stepped forward. "Welcome back. I'm Kellen Vance. You're safe. Humanity's ingenuity survived, and so did you." The captain's eyes widened. 700 years. "Yes," Kellen said, smiling, "but you're home now." The hybrid extended a hand to the captain, and together they connected to the Aurora's systems. The ship hummed with approval. Kellen realized that humanity, even across centuries, had created a legacy of knowledge, courage, and resilience, and he had been the one to bring it back. Outside, the alien vessels had retreated. They had seen the power of the Aurora and understood for the first time that humans were not weak, nor simple, nor expendable. Humans were creative, adaptable, and unstoppable when united with their own technology. Kellen stepped back, watching the revived humans move through the corridors, interacting with the hybrid, learning about the systems that had preserved them for so long. The Aurora glowed like a beacon, a monument to human ingenuity and perseverance. "You've done well, Kellen," the hybrid said softly. "Humanity has endured because of courage, creativity, and adaptability. You are part of that legacy now." Kellen nodded. He looked out at the swirling colors of the Veil Nebula, thinking about how far humans had come and how far they could go. "We did it," he said. "We survived, and we'll keep surviving no matter what the galaxy throws at us." The captain approached him, extending a hand. "Your skills, your courage, you have restored more than a ship. You have restored humanity's hope." Kellen shook his hand firmly. "Hope isn't enough. We have ingenuity, determination, and the will to act. That's what keeps humans alive. The Aurora pulsed, almost like it was smiling. The hybrid and the revived crew moved together, a blend of past and future, human and machine. Kellen knew that the Aurora was more than a ship. It was a symbol of humanity's resilience, a reminder that no matter how much time passed, human creativity and courage would endure. The nebula outside continued to swirl, but the Aurora's lights shone brighter, cutting through the darkness. Kellen Vance looked around at the humans, the hybrid, and the ship itself, feeling a deep sense of pride. They had survived, they had triumphed, and the galaxy would remember that humanity could endure anything. He activated the Starlight's docking system to leave the nebula, but paused before moving away. The Aurora now had a new purpose: exploration, protection, and the preservation of human knowledge for the centuries to come. And Kellen knew that wherever the ship went, humanity's spirit would travel with it. As the Starlight pulled away, Kellen allowed himself a moment of reflection. 728 years of silence, mystery, and decay had ended with one human mechanic's courage and skill. The Aurora was alive. Humanity's legacy was alive. And he, Kellen Vance, had played a part in ensuring that human ingenuity would never be forgotten. Outside, the nebula glimmered, hiding countless secrets. But the Aurora sailed forward, a living testament to human brilliance, a beacon of hope and ingenuity in the vast, uncharted galaxy. And humanity had triumphed.